हेलो स्टूडेंट, आज हम बात करेंगे हिस्ट्री की। और ये हमारा जो आज का टॉपिक है टेम्पल कंस्ट्रक्शन इन द अर्ली 11th सेंचुरी। द कुंगदेरिया महादेवा टेम्पल डेडिकेटेड टू शिवा was constructed in 1999 by the king Dhangra Deva of the Chundrela dynasties. Figure 30b is the plane of the temple or unornamented gateway led to an entrance and the main hall. Mahatma Dapa where dance where performed the image of the chief deputy was kept in the main shrine. Garbhanga, this was the palace for ritual worship where only the king, the immediate family and parished gathered the Kujuvaha complex connected to royal temples where commerce were not allowed the entry. The temple were decorated with the elaborate carved sculptures. Look at here. फिग 4 में देखते हैं कि द राजेश्वरा टेम्पल एट द थांजवर हैड टू द टॉलेस्ट शिखारा amongst temple of its time. Constructing it was not easy because there were no cranes in those days, and the 19 tons of the top of the shikhara was too heavy to lift manually. So the architects built in inclined path to the top of the temples, placed to the boulders on rollers and rolled it all the way to the top. The path started more than 4 km way, so that is would not be too steep. This was disseminated after the temple was remembered. That experience of the constructions of the temple for a long time. Even now, a village near the temple is called Churpalanam, the village of the incline. Look at here. Two technological and stylistic developments are noticeable from the 12th century. The width of the superstructure above the doors and windows was sometimes carried by arches. The architecture from the was called architect. जो ये बनाते हैं उनको आर्किटेक्ट कहता जाता है और उनका आर्किटेक्चर जो होता है बहुत पुराना होता है. Look at here. A truth arc, the keystone at the center of the arc transferred the weight of the superstructure to the base of the arc. Limestone cement was increasingly used in construction. This was a very high quality cement which when mixed with stone chips hardened into concrete. This made constructions of largest structure easier and faster. To take a look at the construction site in finger. True arc detail from the Ali Darwaja, early 14th century Qutub Quwat at Islam Mosque, Delhi. A painting from the Akbarnama dated 1590-1595 showing the constructions of the water gate all the Agra fort. Describe what the laborers are doing, the tools sawn and the means of crying stones. Next topic है building temples, mosque and tanks. Temples and mosque were beautifully constructions because they were a palace of worship. बहुत ज़्यादा सुंदर तरीके से ये बनाया जाता था क्योंकि यहाँ पे पूजा होती थी. They were also meant to demonstrate the powers. प्रजा को इससे बहुत ज़्यादा पावर मिलती थी. Wealth and devotion of the patron. Take the example of the Rajeshwara temples, and inscriptions mentions that it was built by King Rajadeva for the worship of his god Rajeshwaram. Notice now the name of the rulers and the god are very similar. The king took the god's name because it was a auspicious of the and he wanted to appear like a god. Through the rituals of worship in the temples, one god, Raja Rajendra Deva, honored an author Another Rajeswaram. The largest temples were all constructions by king. The others lesser deities in the temples were gods and godless of the allies and subordinates of the rulers. The temples was a miniature models of the world ruled by the king and his allies as they worship their details together in the royal temples. It seemed as it they brought the just rule of the gods and on earth. Muslim sultans and perhaps did not claim to be incarnations of God, but Persian court colonized disbanded or the sultan as the shadow of God, and inscriptions in the Kutub-il-Islam mosque explained the god choice Alauddin as a king because he had the qualities of Moses and Solomon, the great lawgivers of the past. The greatest lawgivers and architect was God himself. He created the world of the chose and introduced order and similarities. ये रहा direction towards Mecca. And each the dynasty that come to power, kings wanted the emphasis their moral right to be rulers. Constitutions palace of worship provided rulers with the chance to proclaim their close relationship with God, especially important in the age of rapid political change. Rulers also offered patronage to the learned and pious and tried to transform their capitals and cities into great cultural centers that brought fame to their rule and their realms. Importance of waters. The Parisian terms about populated Parisians and abdidi flourishing and the both derives from the word ab meaning waters. It was widely believed that the rule of just king would be an age of plenty when the heavens would not withhold rain at the same time, making precious water available by constructing tanks and receivers was highly precious. Sultan Ismail won a universal respect for constructing large receivers just outside Delhi. In Kunha, it was called the Hafs-is-Sultani or the king's receivers. Can you find it on map I in chapter 3. Rulers often constitutions tanks and reservoirs big and small for use by ordinary people. Sometimes these tanks and receivers were not part of the temple of a temple mosque, not the small tank in a Jami Masjid or Gurudwara, a palace worship and congregations for Sikhs. मेरा सिक्स का मंदिर गुरुद्वारा पंजाब में सिचुएटेड है. Why were a temple destroyed? Because kings built temples to demonstrate their devotion of God and their power and wealth. It is not surprising that when they attacked on another's kingdoms, they affronted targeted these buildings. In the early 19th century, when the Padam king Sirimara Sivabla invaded Sri Lanka and defected the King Shena, the Buddhist monk and courtier Dhammaktiti noted he removed all the valuables. The statue of the Buddhas made entirely of gold in the jewel palace and the golden image in the various monasteries. All this he says the below to the price of the Sinhalse ruler had to be avenged, and the next Sinhalse the ruler Sina the ordered his general to invade Madurai, the capital of the Pandyas. The Buddhist colonist noted that the expeditions made a special effort to find a restored the gold statues of the Buddhas. Similarly, in the early 11th century, when the Chola king Rajendra I built Shiva temple in the capital, he filled it with present suited seized from defected rulers. Incomplete list included a sun pedestal of the Chalukyas, the Ganesh statue, and several statues of Durga, Nandi statue of from the eastern Chalukyas, and image of Barivara from of Siva, and Bhairavi from the Kaligas of Orissa, and Kali statued from the palace of Bengal. Sultan Muhammad of Ghazni was a contemporary of the Rajendra I. During his campaigns in the subcontinent, he attacked the temples of defected kings and looted their wealth and idols. Sultan Muhammad was not a very important ruler at that time, but by destroying temples, especially the one of the Somnath, he tried to win credit as a great heroes of Islam. In the political culture of the Middle Ages, so not most rulers displayed their political might and military success by attacking and looting the palace of worship of defected rulers. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है हमारा गार्डन टॉम्स एंड फोर्ट्स.